Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you everything that I finished sewing recently. And even though I sewed some of these things in winter, I feel like a lot of them are more spring, summer projects. So I'm hoping that seeing these projects might give you some inspiration for what you might want to sew for spring and summer. So let's just dive right into it. Okay guys, so the first project I made this winter is actually this really fun faux shearling vest. And I do have a whole video about the process of making this if you're interested in watching it. But basically, I was really inspired by some of Cezanne's outerwear. I really like that brand, but I don't really like their price point. It's usually too much for me. So I saw they had this super cool shearling vest available this year, and I thought I would try to make my own version. And I think overall it turned out really, really well. I used the new Craft House Everyday Waistcoat pattern as a basis for this vest, but I did modify the neckline a little bit to get the look I wanted. And for the main fabric, I used a faux suede, and on the inside, the fabric was bonded to this faux sherpa, so it was kind of a two-sided fabric. And then for this trim, I used a stretch fleece sherpa kind of fabric to make the trim. And overall, I think it turned out really well. In theory, this is actually a pretty simple project. The vest just has two pieces for the front, and then it's got one piece for the back. The part of this project that takes a little bit longer is doing this edge work. I ended up using this stretch fleece almost like a bias tape. I cut strips of it and it was really stretchy, so I was able to ease it around the other fabric to get this trim. But it took a lot of time to make sure that the width of the trim was consistent, so I was doing a lot of kind of precise measuring and marking and things like that. And I also added my little Made by Mel tag in the back. So overall, I'm super happy with this project. For me, it's the perfect layering piece, especially as we move from winter into spring. These days where, you want a little bit of outerwear to keep you warm, but maybe you throw this on top of a cozy sweater or something like that, and it looks so chic. So if you're interested in more of the process of making this, I would definitely check out my video about it. I'll go into a lot more detail about it there. So that was my only outerwear project of the winter, and in fact, everything else I made were dresses, so let's get into some of the dresses now. Okay, so next up, I made this really beautiful satiny dress, and I made this using a McCall's Brandy Joan pattern. And as you can see, the kind of main design detail about this dress is this really pretty curved area at the bust line that transitions nicely into this keyhole with a tie in the front. I was really attracted to this pattern. I just thought it was so beautiful, really sleek, and I hadn't seen anything quite like it, especially when it came to the region around the bust. So I decided to give it a try. This was definitely a challenging project. This took me a really long time. The dress is fully lined in the same fabric, which makes it absolutely beautiful. But this polyester satin fabric was challenging to work with, it's slippery. Also, I do think the fit around the bust, there's some room for improvement. Again, I have a whole video about this. So if you want all my detailed thoughts on the fit and the construction and everything like that, I really go into a lot of depth in that video, so I would check it out. The bottom of the dress has princess seams and it fits really nicely. And the back just has this really pretty scoop back, which is really open. So you do have a lot of back showing in this dress. Overall, I absolutely love this one. It's so pretty. I think it toes the line of being occasion wear, but you could also dress it down in the summer with some sneakers, maybe a baseball cap or like a fanny pack or something like that, just to dress it down a little bit. Yeah, super proud of this dress. It had been a while since I'd made a pretty dress just for the fun of it, just for, to be frivolous and fun and really enjoy my sewing. So I did have some fun making this one. Okay, next up is a dress that I haven't actually featured on this channel. I didn't end up making a video for this dress, so you guys haven't seen this one yet. But this is a dress that I made using the Vicky Sew's Leora Dress pattern. I used one of the fabrics that I featured in my spring fabric haul, so that is what this fabric ended up becoming. This fabric is actually 100% cotton waffle jersey, which is kind of crazy and I'd never seen anything like it before. I got the fabric from an online store called My Little Fabric Shop and I really love it. One thing I will say is I don't think this fabric has quite enough stretch for this dress, and I realized that when I was kind of halfway through the making process. So I did end up cutting this dress out one size larger than I would normally B because it had a lot of negative ease. It was designed for a very stretchy fabric, but I really didn't feel like this fabric was stretchy enough for all that negative ease. So I sewed it one size up. And the other thing I did is I actually added an invisible zipper on the side seam because originally this dress is designed to pull over your head and stretch over your body. But again, I just knew that wasn't realistic. So I did add a zipper in, which was no big deal. It was super easy to do. So details I love about this dress, of course, this ruched kind of gathered detail at the bust is beautiful, and there's actually a couple different ways you can wear this. You can tie the straps like this, you can kind of have the straps over behind your neck. You can even kind of tuck the straps in so that they're invisible, but I really love that. And I decided to make my version sleeveless, A, because I didn't buy enough fabric to make it sleeved, and then B, because I was picturing this being more of a spring summer dress, so I thought sleeveless looked really nice. I didn't make too many other modifications, but I did add a slit in the bottom of the skirt because I was having trouble walking in this dress. It's pretty long, and again, my fabric wasn't that stretchy, so I did add a pretty high slit in the skirt so that I can walk comfortably in it. But I've already worn this dress out a few times and it's not even that warm out, so that just shows how much I love it. It's super comfortable because it's cotton, it's breathable, and I feel like it's really stylish without being super dressy. It's totally the kind of thing you can throw on if you just want to go to the grocery store or a casual lunch with friends. Like, I think it can do it all. And of course, the other detail that makes this special is this kind of cutout at the waist. You have a peekaboo moment for the front of your stomach, which is really fun as well. So it's clear that Vicky Sew's instructions aren't really the best. I find the instructions are a little bit unclear. The pictures often aren't very clear what's going on either. They sometimes refer to things in a different term than I would have heard the term. So that was a little tough, but luckily a dress like this, it's pretty simple, so you can kind of muddle your way through how it's supposed to go together without too much trouble. But yeah, I love this project. I think I'm gonna get a lot of wear out of it this spring and summer. Okay, last but not least is this really fun beige cutout dress. Again, I made a whole video about this and I showed you guys how to fully line this dress. So this is made from a New Look pattern, and it's one of those ones that doesn't look that good on the hanger, so I'll make sure to throw in the try-on clips. But it's got these straps and it's got a completely open back, and the straps kind of crisscross across your back. This is a great pattern for beginners. There's not a lot of curved seams, there's no buttons or zippers, there's no darts, there's no complex dressmaking skills required to make this. So I think it's a great beginner pattern. This is my second time I've made this pattern, and I think I keep getting better at it every time. This time I made this dress out of a really beautiful tan cotton poplin fabric with a tiny bit of stretch on the cross grain, and it has this really pretty white and pink floral design on the top, and then I fully lined it in a plain white cotton poplin fabric. So I really love how this turned out. It's a great dress for the hottest days of summer, or if you're on a vacation where it's super hot, your back and shoulders are completely out, and then you can make the skirt however long you like. But I love this pattern. I think it's super underrated. I'm surprised more people aren't talking about it. I think the design is really smart and it's really chic. And looking at these last two dresses here, maybe I had some sort of beige neutral dress thing going on this spring when I was sewing, because in some ways these two dresses are kind of similar, which is pretty funny. But yes, if you're a beginner looking to make this dress, you should check out my video. I go through every single step by step, and make it super easy to sew your own dress like this one. Okay guys, that is everything I made recently during the end of winter and early spring. I really hope you enjoyed seeing what I've been working on. So I only featured 4 projects in this video, which you might have noticed is a little bit less than I would usually sew. And the reason for that is I have a big project going on behind the scenes. I am actually going to be attending Toronto Frocktails, and I have been laboring away making my dream gown for that. And that is going to be at least a 2-part series coming up on my channel very soon. So a lot of my time and energy has been going into this big dress behind the scenes. So that's why I have a little bit less to show you right now, but I am really excited to show you my Toronto Frocktails dress very soon. So if you guys like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're liking my videos, please do subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. And don't forget to click the notification bell to make sure you're always notified when I upload another video. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.